city and metropolitan borough in the county of Greater Manchester with a population of 552,000 at the 2021 census. It is bordered by the Cheshire Plain to the south, the Pennines to the north and east, and the neighbouring city of Salford to the west. The two cities and the surrounding towns form one of the United Kingdom's most populous conurbations, the Greater Manchester built-up area, with a population of 2.87 million in 2021. The city borders the boroughs of Trafford, Stockport, Thameside, Oldham, Rochdale, Bury and Salford. The city is notable for its architecture, culture, musical exports, media links, scientific and engineering outputs, social impact sports clubs and transport connections. Manchester-Liverpool Road Railway Station is the world's oldest surviving intercity passenger railway station. Manchester has a large urban sprawl, which forms from the city centre into the other neighbouring authorities. Hello, I'm John, and welcome to John's Box, my YouTube channel, and to another edition of 10 English cities, their pros and their cons. This is the 5th edition, and today it's the city of Manchester with a population of over 550,000, and it's been a city since 1853. Actually not so long, considering that Bristol's been a city much longer, not to mention London. I've only ever been to Manchester once in my life. That was just for a day, so I've had to research online and offline to find out what the pros and cons of the city really are. If you live there, if you've been there many times, if you work there, I'm sure you're better qualified to comment, so that's why I'll welcome your comments at the end of this video. So we're going to look at the pros, then we're going to look at the cons of Manchester, then we're going to look at the fun facts, and then finally the cons of this great city. So sit back and relax and enjoy what you see. So is Manchester a good place to live? It has recently been voted one of the best cities to live in and across the globe. It boasts excellent educational institutions and job opportunities across various industries. Manchester is a great place to live because it has a thriving economy, a vibrant cultural scene and a diverse population. There are many other positives about the city. Here are just a few of them.
How many times have I crossed an ocean?
Manchester is a dynamic metropolitan area, and those with expertise in a range of industries such as finance, law, biotechnology and digital media will find great opportunities if they plan on working in the city. Another plus is that the job market in Manchester is slightly less competitive than in London. So, Manchester is home to a bus route that is thought to be the busiest in all of Europe. New arrivals will find getting around the city is rather easy, thanks to excellent bus and tram networks. Plus, bus fares remain competitive owing to the fact that there are a number of different service providers operating on similar routes. In the past, Manchester was known for being notoriously inhospitable for cyclists. Roadworks, traffic and lack of cycle lanes were just some of the issues that made getting around difficult for cyclists in the city. In recent years, however, the city has invested considerable time and money into improving infrastructure to enable commuters to cycle safely. Manchester is famed for its rich musical history and has been dubbed the UK's music capital. Whether it's live jazz, classical, indie or electronic music they fancy, those living in Manchester will be spoilt for choice. Manchester is a culturally diverse city thanks to a history of immigration. From Chinatown to the Curry Mile, New arrivals will be exposed to a range of different cultural offerings in the city.
Keep me in your heart until I come to you.
Manchester is ideally located near 4 national parks. The Peak District, the Lake District, Yorkshire Dales and Snowdonia are all within a couple of hours from Manchester. This means you can easily escape from the city for the weekend and explore some of the most beautiful landscapes England has to offer. The Peak District is the most popular destination for a day trip since you can get there in less than half an hour. There are many great walks in the Peak District as well as cute villages to visit. So overall, Manchester really offers the best of both worlds. You can have all the conveniences of city life, but also escape to nature easily.
Darling,
No matter if you are a Manchester United or a City fan, there is no denying that Manchester is a great city for football fans. There are 2 Premier League teams and plenty of smaller clubs to choose from. You can find stadiums and pubs everywhere, so it's easy to find somewhere to watch a game, even when the teams aren't playing at home. Plus, there's a great atmosphere when either of the teams play, with fans from all over the world flocking to Manchester for the games. If you are a football fan, then this city is definitely Over 200 languages are spoken in the city, and this is one of the most remarkable fun facts about Manchester. With a large population, the city is deemed to be the most linguistically diverse city in the country. The Curry Mile in Manchester is well known for its excellent Indian, Lebanese, Palestinian, Turkish and Persian cuisines. Every day over 200 languages are spoken in Manchester, highlighting the city's incredible diversity. What's more, it is believed that half of the adult population here is multilingual, and 4 out of 10 young people can speak in more than one language. The RollsRoyce story began here, you know. They were destined to be together. They simply didn't realise it yet. We've all heard of the brand RollsRoyce. Who would have guessed that such legendary identities would come together in Manchester? They met on the 4th of May 1904 in Manchester, what we know of, when Charles Rolls saw Henry Royce's classic 10-horsepower automobile, the first motor car Rolls-Royce had developed and constructed himself, and realised immediately that he had discovered what he had been looking for. Let's now explore the negative side of Manchester. One of the only downsides to the public transport in Manchester is that the trams are very busy. They can be crowded and sometimes it's hard to find a seat, especially during rush hours. This is quite inconvenient, especially since sometimes you don't even get on the tram. If you go to a gig at Manchester AO Arena, you'll notice this firsthand at Victoria. Manchester is unfortunately not the cleanest city in England. Though it has been improving in recent years, there are still a lot of litter throughout the city, especially in certain neighbourhoods, which makes it look quite untidy at times. It's true that Manchester is cheaper to live in than the south of England, and with that comes a downside, which is that salaries are also lower here. This means that you will have to be realistic when looking for a job and accept that it might pay less than what you would get for the same job in London or elsewhere. But remember that since the cost of living is also lower, it doesn't mean you would have a worse lifestyle. As a matter of fact, people have a better quality of life here. Manchester is a big city and thus it has its fair share of traffic. The M60 ring road around the city can be particularly congested during rush hour. This makes it difficult to get from one side of the city to the other quickly. Also, there is a lot of roadworks all the time and not a lot of alternative routes, so it's very common for people to be stuck in traffic. Manchester's rather small city centre can be very crowded. The bars and pubs are always packed on a Saturday night and during big events such as football matches or concerts, and you all especially feel it. Market Street is also very busy and can be hard to navigate. It's definitely not ideal if you like to avoid crowds, but that's something some people might have to put up with when living in the centre of a big city. All in all, Manchester has a lot to offer and has plenty of pros and cons. It's a great city for students as well as professionals and families, with lots to do and see. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed all of that. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff. As I mentioned previously, particularly if you live in the city and if you work there, comments welcome, because the best feedback is what you comment about. Good or bad, Put me right if I've said something wrong. Okay then, in the next edition, we've reached the halfway point, by the way. In the next edition, we'll be looking at the city of Bradford. I think that will be sometime before or just after the new year. So thank you very much for sticking by. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back again with another video on this channel. Bye for now.